Let's get into the action. The first fight during the week, live from Australia, we had the return of Keith Thurman versus Brock Jarvis. This was Thurman's first fight in over 3 years of inactivity. His first fight at 154 pounds now. Didn't waste any time. Third round, vicious knockout, landed a big left hook, paralyzed his opponent Jarvis, put together a beautiful combination followed by an uppercut. Thurman is back one time. What'd you think of his performance? What'd you think of his win?
Listen, when I was doing Friday Night Fights and PPC came in, they're really the reason why we didn't have Friday Night Fights anymore. When Al Heyman came along with the deal for PPC to pay for all the programming, ESPN took it, NBC took it, ABC, CBS, I don't know who else, Fox, everyone took it for a little while, and ESPN took it. It wound up lasting about 2 years. We were doing, like I said, PPC boxing, and Thurman was one of their stars. And at that time, we're going back some years now, but at that time, I said that Thurman, somebody had asked me, who, Teddy, is going to be the next face of boxing? I said, I think Keith Thurman has a chance to be that guy back then. And I made a strong statement. I'm known for making strong statements, but I don't make like weak ones. That don't mean they're right, but they're strong. You know what I mean? They're not. They might not be right, but they're strong. And I said that I thought he was the most athletic fighter in the business. Pacquiao was starting to get older. I thought Pacquiao was tremendously athletic, and there were other guys too. But I thought that Keith Thurman might have been the best athlete out of all the top tier guys. And he had that signature fight. He had that unbelievable...
Yeah, with Danny Garcia.
But no, he had that. But he had, for me, was with Sean Porter. He had that war on CBS. I think it was CBS on primetime. And when, like I said, when PBC, Al Heyman was doing his thing and trying to change boxing in the way he was, to bring it to all the networks, free boxing for 2 years to all the networks. Then he was hoping it would blossom from there. And what a war that was. And he showed he could do everything. He could fight inside, he could box, he could use his legs, he could use his jab, he could do it. The one thing about Thurman, they caught him one time. Obviously, the one time, it's about promotion. It's about getting people's attention. It's about making money. It's about putting fannies in his seats. No, it is. And you got to get that name. So they came up with one time. And one time would suggest, I hit you one time, it's all over. I never thought Thurman was just one time. I thought he was all the time. I thought he was all-encompassing. He could box, he could, like I said, he could use his legs. I didn't think he was that guy that really just looked for one shot. I thought he was really, for me, his strength was, he was a pretty solid boxer. Yeah, he could punch. No doubt about it. But to me, it wasn't that signature name, that catchphrase name, which I understand why they did it, to get attention and to promote him. But I didn't think it fit him. I thought he was more the consummate boxer who could punch and who had the option of going inside, outside. He showed, he's been away. He's had injuries. He never became that face of boxing, obviously. And the reason was a couple things. I'm going to go deeper than maybe someone else. The obvious, injuries. He had a lot of injuries. He had some surgeries, shoulders, elbow, whatever it was. He had injuries. No doubt about it. But also, I think he made too much money. I love Keith Thurman. I also think he's too intelligent. I know that sounds ridiculous. Teddy, explain yourself. I'll explain myself real quick. All fighters that are top fight are intelligent. I'm not saying that. You have to be intelligent. But I'm saying a guy like him was so articulate, so introspective, so smart, that you sometimes start thinking about your mortality. You start thinking about the fighters that went too long in the business and stuff like that. And then you make money and you say, no, I'm a smart guy. I'm going to be one of the guys that gets out in time. I think that he made so much money with Al Heyman. That was a gift. It was great. Al Heyman made a lot of fighters rich, but it was also a curse. See, again, I just say what I believe from my experience, not try to be on this side, on that side. I'm on your side, on the side of the fans, the side of the audience, our audience, the boxing fans. And, excuse me, I thought that with Keith Thurman, that when you're that intelligent, as I said, you make that much money, and he made a lot of money in a pretty relatively short period of time, won the title, made a lot of money, you lose some of that fire. And especially if you're that kind of thinking guy, like, why am I doing this? Let me enjoy it. Why, I don't want to go too long. But now he's back. I think that he does have a love for the sport. I think he's missed the sport. I think that maybe he's been rejuvenated a little bit, being away from the sport. Isn't it a funny thing? Be careful you don't get what you wish for. Here's a guy, he made money. He can step away, but now he's stepping back when he's 37. You know what I mean? Or 36, whatever it is. But he's still young enough. He's not used up. He's not an older 36, 37, because he's been away so long. So he's not used up. He's still fresh. Really, he's 36 going on 26, because he's taking care of his body. As I said, he hasn't taken a lot of abuse, hasn't taken a lot of punishment, hasn't been fighting. So he's back now. I think it's all about, it ain't about his age. I just said that. He's not used up. Even his inactivity, he showed you he's still athletic. He still knows how to fight. I think it's about how much does he want to do it. I think it was always about that with Keith Thurman. Like I said, he made money. Do you still want to do this? Right now, it looks like he still wants to do it. If he's still, you got to step up now. I know that was a hand-picked guy. It was a guy who was a lot smaller than them. The guy really competed at 140, I believe, and then he put muscle on. He went on a weight program, I guess, and he went up. He wasn't really a natural 147. And Keith Thurman's always been a big welterweight. Always been. What was the weight on that fight?
This was his first fight at 154 now.
154. So this guy that he fought, I think, was more of a welterweight who put on a little bulk and moved up to 154. Thurman can handle 154 because he is athletic. He can punch. He can box. And he was always a big welterweight. Always he really was. He was a big welterweight to begin with. Again, a hand-pumped, tough kid, but a hand-picked guy that he could hit. That, again, I thought was bulked up with the muscle a little bit. A perfect guy to come back and look good against. And he looked good against them. He showed the things that, the reason why we were big Keith Thurman fans. Why we were excited about Keith Thurman, the skill, the speed, all of the ability. Again, I think it's going to come down to now he's got to step up. I don't know how fast they're going to do it, but he's going to have to step up. And look, it's a reality check. It's one thing to go in when you're that good and you were that good and knock out a guy like this, and then go to the next tier with guys that have been active. That could be a quick pincher, where pinch me. Am I awake? Oh, whoa, I am awake now. Wow. Now I'm in the real world. That can happen quick. But I wouldn't count out Thurman because of all the things I just said. His ability, he's still young, even though he's 36. He's not used. He's got the skill sets. If he's hungry, if he got that renewed hunger that I think had left him. And I understand it. Why wouldn't it leave you if you made money and you want to take care of your family? I mean, that's why you do it for the most part. That's why you're doing it. So anyway, it'll be interesting for me to see who does Thurman fight next. How does he look? But who do they pick next? Will tell me how much confidence they have in where he's at.